You ever notice how everyone suddenly come to and say, "Bro, you are champ, you have made it, I always believed in you"? These are the exact same people who didn't give a damn when they are needed the most at certain time in your life. They didn't build with you, they just watched, waited, and prayed you'd stay small enough to control. But the moment you rise, they come crawling, not to celebrate you, but to guilt you back into the pit and say, "Don't forget where you came from. Remember who supported you." That's the trap. Most men pause, they slow down, they look back, and in that hesitation, they get pulled under by the weight of loyalty, comfort, and old identity. Not the Sigma male. The Sigma male doesn't just escape the system, he destroys every possible door that leads back to it. He doesn't leave ladders behind, he melts them. Because the second you leave a path back to your former life, that path becomes a leash. He doesn't romanticize the struggle. He doesn't turn his pain into poetry. He turns it into fuel. And once he's up, he makes damn sure he can never fall back in. No fire escape, no safety net, no apology tour. Just fire where the past used to be. Now let's break down the 10 brutal reasons why Sigma males burn every ladder behind them. 1. No one helped build the ladder, so no one gets to climb it. The Sigma male remembers silence louder than words. Every time he was ignored, dismissed, doubted, it's cataloged. He doesn't hold grudges, he holds records. So when he finally builds the ladder that takes him out of the pit, he doesn't owe anyone a second to climb it after him. He's not selfish, he's selective. People love to show up at the finish line and act like they were there for the marathon. But Sigma males don't reward presence at the victory. They remember absence at the war. If you weren't there to help him climb, you're not invited to the view. That ladder was carved through sweat, silence, and survival. It's not a public staircase. The Sigma male knows that keeping the ladder up gives others a reason to think they can use him. So he burns it. Not out of spite, but to send a message. Access is earned at the start, not assumed at the top. If you didn't help lift him, don't expect him to lower a hand. He's not your redemption arc. Burn the ladder, keep the freedom. 2. The same people cheering are the same ones who doubted. The Sigma male never forgets who was silent when he needed a word, who vanished when he needed a hand, and who laughed quietly when he failed publicly. Those same people are the first to show up with fake congratulations the second he wins, but he sees through it. The applause isn't respect, it's regret that they didn't bet on him. While most men are flattered by late recognition, the Sigma male is disgusted by it. He knows that people don't suddenly support you, they just start fearing your distance. And that fear is not friendship, it's strategic guilt. A way to reel him back in, to humble him, to make him feel like he owes the ones who watched instead of helped. Sigma males don't feed on praise. They don't measure success by claps. They measure it by separation from everything and everyone that once tethered them to mediocrity. If you doubted him before, your congratulations now mean nothing. He doesn't want validation. He wants memory and your absence in it. He doesn't walk around with a chip on his shoulder. He walks with a list of people he'll never let back in, no matter how loud they clap. 3. Familiar faces are the fastest to drag you back. There's a reason the Sigma male doesn't do reunions. The people from his past friends, exes, co-workers, they're not reminders of who he was. They're anchors that want to drag him back to that identity. Familiarity becomes a form of control. People don't want the new you, they want the version they remember. The one that tolerated nonsense, that stayed small, that made them feel bigger by comparison. When the Sigma male sees that happening, he doesn't argue. He doesn't explain. He disconnects. Because trying to grow around people who only recognize your old self is like trying to sprint in concrete. They won't celebrate your evolution, they'll challenge it. Not because you've changed for the worse, but because your progress exposes their comfort. That's why he doesn't visit the past. That's why he doesn't go back to check in. He knows what lives there. Stale expectations and recycled conversations. Growth demands distance, and once the Sigma male cuts ties, he makes sure there's nothing to grab. You can't drag a man back who already burned the bridge you're standing on. 4. Nostalgia is a drug, and he refuses to relapse. Nostalgia is a trap disguised as a memory. It wraps failure in warmth and makes you miss the same struggle that almost killed you. That's why the Sigma male doesn't entertain it. He doesn't reminisce. He doesn't look back and say, "Those were the days," because they weren't. They were the days that tried to break him, and he's not interested in glorifying pain just to make others comfortable with his progress. Nostalgia is the most dangerous kind of gravity. It doesn't pull you back with force, it pulls you with feeling. But Sigma males don't operate on feelings. They operate on facts. And the fact is, every time you glorify what you survived, you give it power again. He survived it once. He won't romanticize it now. That's why the Sigma male doesn't revisit old haunts, old habits, or old people. He doesn't keep photos as trophies. He doesn't frame the past, he scorches it. Because the second you start missing what hurt you, you give it a second chance to control you. The Sigma male doesn't relapse into the past. He reinvests everything into his future. No rear view, no rewind, just drive. 5. The old environment wasn't a phase. It was a prison. Most men look back on where they came from with a weird kind of affection, like the struggle built them. The Sigma male looks back and sees what almost destroyed him. He doesn't get sentimental. He gets furious. That job that drained him, a cell, that neighborhood that mocked him for dreaming bigger, a cage, that relationship that demanded loyalty while delivering dysfunction, a trap. The Sigma male doesn't see those things as stepping stones. He sees them as proof that survival was never optional, it was engineered. So when he walks away, it's not a graduation, it's an escape. And there's no visiting hours for the prison he escaped from. No tours, no flashbacks. He deletes the path, blocks the exits, and removes the coordinates from his mental map. 6. There's no honor in loyalty to a broken system. Most men are loyal to pain because they fear the unknown. Sigma males are allergic to that mindset. He doesn't stick around because of how things used to be. He stays sharp enough to recognize when the system, whether it's a job, a friendship, or even a family unit, is failing him. Loyalty to the Sigma is earned daily, not inherited. The second a system stops evolving, he leaves it. Not out of rebellion, but out of self-respect. The world says, ride or die. The Sigma says, fix it or I'm gone. Because dying for a broken system isn't loyalty, it's self-harm in disguise. 7. Every rope left behind becomes a noose. Leaving the ladder means nothing if you leave the ropes tied behind you. Sigma males cut deep. They don't leave emotional strings or back doors. They understand that one weak connection can pull the whole machine down. So they slice it all. Cold, clean, final. A casual check-in with a toxic friend. Snipped. A revisit to a dead-end job. Just to help out? Cut. A quick reply to an ex for closure? Never. He doesn't ghost people. He deletes access. And he doesn't announce it. Because true freedom doesn't come with warnings, it comes with vanishing. 8. He's not coming back stronger. He's coming back unrecognizable. The Sigma male doesn't glow up. He disappears and returns untraceable. People from his past expect a version of him they can still understand, but he evolves too far, too fast, and too deep for recognition. When he resurfaces, if he resurfaces, it's with a new identity forged in silence. Not just a better body or smarter mindset, but an entirely new playbook. He doesn't return to prove a point. He returns to confirm a prophecy that he was always different, just underestimated. 9. Weak men revisit the fire. Sigma males become the flame. Most men revisit the pain, hoping to extract wisdom. The Sigma male becomes the wisdom. He doesn't need to sit in the ashes. He becomes the blaze that levels every limit he used to obey. He doesn't go back to relive it. He doesn't need to refeel the pain to validate his growth. He lets the scars speak while he builds the next empire. You won't find him writing emotional essays. You'll find him executing. 10. He doesn't fear isolation. He fears regression. People say the Sigma male is lonely. They miss the point. He's not avoiding people. He's avoiding the pull to go backwards. He's not afraid of being alone. He's afraid of slipping. Every connection is a potential chain. Every reunion is a possible relapse. So he chooses clarity over company, Silence over applause. Movement over comfort. The climb is quiet. The fall is crowded. That's why he climbs alone. On a final note, what he burned wasn't the past. It was the permission to ever return. The Sigma male doesn't need to be praised for escaping. He doesn't need his story retold. He didn't climb out to inspire. He climbed out to disappear. No more lifelines, no more callbacks, no more explanations. He didn't leave the fire to be safe. He left to become something the fire could never touch. And if you're still hoping he'll come back, you're already standing in ashes.